Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course. Of course he is.
You know, and let me tell you one more thing, man, Max. Seriously. If I could take a prime Terence Crawford, this is how much I believe in this kid, and a prime Floyd Mayweather, with all the tools that Terence Crawford has, I will pick Terence Crawford to beat a prime Mayweather any day.
You all right? Let's kick this off, right? BoMac didn't just answer that Mayweather versus Crawford question. He slammed the door shut like, of course, Bud's better.
Wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me?
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah.
No hesitation, no pause. Just confidence dripping all over the mic. And honestly, I get it. Terence "Bud" Crawford is out here dismantling elite fighters across multiple weight classes while making it look effortless.
Everyone is going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You and I both know Floyd Mayweather's resume is legendary. But, like Teddy Atlas says, a perfect record can't throw punches. Imagine those two in the same era. Floyd rolling his shoulder, Crawford switching stances. Tell me you wouldn't pay double just to watch the first round.
Comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who would win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd would win that fight.
Yes, sir. I
Floyd
love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah,
He's a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in
But
that
the
sense
funny
is
thing
crazy.
about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out.
And the best part, BoMac made it sound like a fact, not an opinion. That's what makes this debate so fun. You can argue stats all day, but when your coach wears a goat hat with a straight face, you know he's not just hyping. He truly believes it.
You got to give it to him. You got to give it to his coaches, not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. You know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course. Of course he...
All right. So BoMac was out here flexing like he's got the cheat codes. And then Crawford jumps in and basically says, bro, if you want to beat Floyd, you better show up looking like Dr. Octopus with 4 arms and 6 eyeballs. And honestly, he ain't lying.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know. I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
I think you got your answer there.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Javante
I
Davis.
beat your ass.
Okay, that's a no.
Floyd's entire career was like trying to beat the final boss on God mode. The man's defense was so slick, you'd think he had the Wi-Fi password to your punches. And when the interviewer asked Crawford if Floyd was better than him, Bud hit him with that politician-level dodge. No straight answer, just vibes.
The opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you wouldn't, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but when Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I.
But let's be real, Crawford admitting that would be like Batman telling you Superman's faster. It's not happening on camera. Floyd might not be fighting anymore, but Bud knows that if that matchup ever happened, the chessboard would have caught fire. And just when you thought Crawford dropped the wildest line, Timothy Bradley comes in swinging, turning up the heat and making it clear this debate's about to get explosive.
Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. Oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat.
Forget sugarcoating. This man said it loud. Terence "Bud" Crawford beats Floyd Mayweather, prime for prime. And honestly, the way he laid it out, it felt less like a hot take and more like a verdict. Floyd S. got the resume, sure. But as Teddy Atlas once said, resumes can't throw punches.
Reach with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counter punches in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that back hand. The way he reaches with that.
Bradley didn't stop there. He said Bud's not just a fighter, he's a complete problem. Switch hitting, power, reach, IQ, chin, you name it, Crawford's got it. Here's the thing, People worship Floyd's 50 like it's untouchable scripture. But Bradley's out here reminding us that boxing isn't about paperwork, it's about punishment. And Bud, he's the kind of guy who'd turn Floyd's shoulder roll into a shoulder funeral.
135, 140, 147, it don't matter. He'll beat him. He'll beat him. He has the concentration. He has the ring IQ. He has more power than Floyd. He's longer than Floyd. He's stronger than Floyd. He can counterpunch. He can fight for both sides. He got a chin of granite.
Floyd was the master of control, but Crawford thrives in chaos. And that's a nightmare matchup. So yeah, Bradley didn't just stir the pot, he dumped the whole kitchen into the fire. Floyd fans won't like it, but deep down, you've got to admit prime versus prime. Crawford might just be the only guy who could make money look broke. And the irony, that might have been the biggest payday fight we'll never get. Still, just imagining it makes the boxing world feel alive again.
An exhibition, bro, and I'll prove it to everybody. Everybody will witness. Yeah, Terence Crawford is better than you, Floyd. That's just what it is. Hey, you great. You're an all-time great. So is he. But he's better. His greatness is better than yours. And I don't give a damn about no damn resume.
And just when Bradley left us buzzing, Shane Mosley jumps in and flips the conversation like, hold up, let me set the record straight. He straight up says Crawford might have the edge over Mayweather, and honestly, I see why. You, me, we all watched Bud move up in weight like it was nothing. And every time, he looks stronger. Mosley points out those long arms would have kept Floyd at bay, and that's a nightmare for any counterpuncher. Sure, Mayweather's defense is legendary, but against Crawford's reach and timing, that's like trying to play chess while someone keeps moving the board an inch further away.
It's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather.
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually, he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can't knock him as well.
And that visual alone tells you how frustrating that fight could have been. Now, I'm not saying Floyd wouldn't have had his moments, because we all know he would. But Mosley's basically telling us Crawford brings a different kind of puzzle, one where the pieces don't fit the usual way. It's like comparing a lockpick to a battering ram. They both get the job done, but one is way more explosive. And honestly, if that fight ever happened, we wouldn't just buy tickets, we'd be glued to the screen like it's the final round of a video game boss fight.
It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather is definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
And just when Mosley had us losing our minds thinking Crawford's better than Mayweather, Danny Garcia steps in like the calm uncle at the barbecue, saying, chill, guys. He's basically telling us, you can't really compare. They're from different eras, different styles, but both were absolute machines. And I get that. Floyd had that robotic defense and pinpoint accuracy, but Crawford's got speed, power, IQ, and that dogged confidence that makes you feel like he could take on anyone, anywhere.
You think Crawford is better than Floyd?
No, I think they're different fighters. I just feel like you can't compare two different. They're definitely two different type of fighters. They're both great at their styles and what they do, but I don't like to compare because they're two different generations, you know. But both of them were dominant, you know.
I can almost hear Bud walking into the gym thinking, all right, Floyd, I see you in the highlights. Now let's make this interesting. And you and I, we're just here, popcorn in hand, imagining Prime Crawford and Prime Mayweather finally squaring off. Honestly, I don't care who made more money. I'd pay double just to watch that first round chaos. That's the debate we're living for. And Danny just reminded us why it's not about labels. It's about who owns the ring.
It was more defensive and more accurate. Crawford's more, he got that dog in him, and he believes in himself. Both of them got that mindset. So they're both great fighters. I don't like to say who's better than who, but they're both.
Right after Danny Garcia gave us that both are great, let's not compare energy. Bredman Edwards comes in like the strict teacher shutting the whole class down. The man basically said, stop asking about Crawford versus Floyd, enjoy the moment, and quit trying to turn legends into Twitter beef. And honestly, I get where he's coming from. Floyd and Roy Jones Jr. are already throwing shade at each other like it's high school drama, and the last thing boxing needs is Bud getting dragged into that. But come on, you and I can't help it. We're fight fans. It's in our DNA to imagine these dream matchups. Bredman's over here trying to protect Bud's flowers. And I respect that, but let's be real. Half the fun of boxing is these what-if debates. You know what it felt like? Like when you're joking with your friends about fantasy fights, and then your older cousin walks in and says, grow up. Like, no thanks. We're keeping the dream alive because Crawford versus Mayweather. their primes, is one of those debates we'll never stop arguing about, no matter how many times Breadman says the door is closed.
Bud and Floyd to be mad at each other, man, and wanting to fight because people is like putting them against each other. Let's just enjoy the moment. I don't know. It's a close fight. You know, it's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do.
And here's the thing. Crawford versus Mayweather isn't just barbershop talk. It's the ultimate clash of styles. Floyd was like the final boss in a video game. Untouchable defense, precision sharper than a surgeon, and a poker face that never cracked. Crawford, he's the guy who figures out every puzzle mid-fight, switches stances like he's changing Wi-Fi networks. And once he smells blood, it's curtains. You line them up in their absolute primes. And we're talking about a fight that would split families at the dinner table. I'm telling you, Floyd would make Bud miss. Bud would adjust. Floyd would counter. Bud would dog it out. And by round 6, the internet would already be melting down. Forget fantasy football. This is the fantasy fight that keeps the boxing world awake at night. And personally, I think Floyd edges it on points, but Bud makes it ugly enough that we'd actually see Floyd get uncomfortable for once. That's why we can't stop debating it. It's perfection versus chaos. And that's the kind of matchup boxing was built for. So drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's hear your take on Crawford versus Mayweather. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Knockout Corners.